campaign right here, and you guys can see it says select a campaign type. So very similar to how Facebook advertising starts out. And what we're gonna do is video right here, but you can see all the different options. So you have search. So if someone types into the search bar in Google, says like basketball shoes or whatever, that'd be able to pop up your ad right there. Display is basically like banners on all these different ads, or not ads, sorry, banners on different blog sites. Shopping, obviously if you're going through and shopping. And universal app, that's kind of like going through and pushing app installs and being on different apps and all that stuff. So what we're gonna do is choose video right here. Okay, now guys, I've tested a little bit on both of these, but what I like to do is typically product and brand consideration. Okay, so brand awareness and reach, this is just more of like going through and getting mass exposure for as little as possible. Product and brand consideration, I found like when you're going for conversions and leads, this is the best way to go through and set that up, right? So we're just gonna click on this. All right, so then we're gonna come down, it says campaign subtype. Obviously if you're going through and doing e-commerce or shopping, if you got like a Shopify store, you'll probably want to click on shopping. For me, when I'm just going more for like lead generation of getting people to opt into whatever landing page I've got set up, I like to do standard consideration right here. Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll just click continue, and it'll take us into this aspect of things where we choose like our budget, we choose which audience we want to target, and you'll see we'll be able to hit a bunch of other things. And like I said, guys, on that little spreadsheet I had for you guys, or that little PDF download, as I mentioned, if you guys type in AdWords plus your favorite ice cream, I'll get you guys that, because I break down exactly all these different things, even when you get into additional settings, what to do there. And there's some important things where if you don't do it the right way, you're gonna end up losing a ton of money. All right, so for this example, let's just say we've got the test campaign, right? So we want to just give the campaign a name. And then as far as the daily budget, this is obviously up to you of what you go through and start with. Like if you're getting started just barely, I'd say maybe try out $10 to $20 somewhere in there. I typically start out around $25 to $50 depending on the campaign and what my end goal is, how big the audience is. But for this example, let's just say we'll say 20 bucks per day. All right, and also you guys can see, hey, I'm gonna set a campaign total, so I only want to spend $100 or $500 or $1,000 or whatever the number is, so you can switch that up right there. All right, so if we come down here to delivery method, so standard is, you can see right here, it says spend your budget evenly over time. Okay, versus accelerated, hey, it's gonna spend your budget as quickly as possible. So like if you're targeting the words basketball shoes and like from 7 to 8 a.m. first thing in the day, there's tons of people searching that. It's gonna go through and show your ad as many times as possible right at the gate, but then the rest of the day it's not really gonna show your ad. So I like to go through and I like to use standard. All right guys, so for start and end dates right here, you can see you can start as soon as possible. You can select a certain date in the future and an end date as well. So you can kind of set that up how you want it. If you want just ongoing, you just say, as soon as ads are approved, and then there's no end date. But then you got to go back in and make sure you're keeping an eye on it so that it doesn't go through and spend tons of money and you have no idea and you owe a lot of money to Google now. Okay, so don't do that. And then networks, guys, this is huge. Okay, we want to do YouTube search results, YouTube videos, and we want to uncheck video partners on the display network, right? So the display network honestly is more beneficial for Google because it gives them so much more traffic to work with, but it's kind of a different beast. Okay, so we want it on YouTube videos and YouTube search results because that keeps everything within YouTube's platform, okay, on youtube.com, as opposed to the display network where that gets into a wide variety of different sites and we don't really know what's going on there, so we just want to stay away from all that. All right, so now if we come down to languages, obviously like if you're running something in English or Spanish or Portuguese or whatever the languages, I like to just go through and make it so it's specific to whatever language I'm doing. So if you're speaking English in the video, you don't want somebody speaking like Hebrew or something like that watching your video because they're probably not going to understand it, right? And then locations, obviously you could do United States, Canada. That's just all specific to you and your business and where you're really trying to target. Okay, bidding strategy, I always just leave it at maximum CPV. Devices, all eligible devices, just leave it there. Frequency capping, okay? And guys, all of these options, there's a little button that I clicked a little bit earlier that says show more or all settings, and these are only going to show up if you click that. Okay, so don't skip over this because this is huge and you could actually waste a ton of money if you're not doing this correctly. Okay, so what we're gonna do over here, it says set a limit to how many times your ads appear to the same user, right? So let's say you're going on there, and let's say there's like this 20-year-old kid. So well, let's just say me. I'm going on there, I'm looking for new basketball shoes, right? Like I got all the shoes in the back. I'm always looking for new basketball shoes. I love those. And I'm searching all these videos, and you're saying like I'm gonna target people with this video for people looking for basketball shoes, okay? And I go through and I type in, you know, basketball shoes, and I watch one video and it's like LeBron basketball shoes, Kobe the basketball shoes, Michael Jordan basketball shoes. I got all these different ones, and I'm seeing your ads so many times, and it gets to a point where it's like, okay, it's really annoying. Keep on seeing your ad, and I get the point. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're trying to get across, right? So we want to go through and limit the amount of times one person is going to go through and see our ad every day, and the number of times it's actually going to pop up and show to them. So what we like to do is come over here and say set a number of impressions, and I usually like to do 2, and the number of views I usually like to do 1 or 2. Okay, so 1 or 2. I don't know, let's just throw 2 in here for right now. And then if we come down here, let's say, so content exclusions. Okay, this is another big one. Okay, now hope the frequency capping made some sense, because this is really important, because lots of times when people go through and search for a specific result or keyword or whatever, they're doing a lot of searches. So like if your ad's gonna keep popping up, keep popping up, just gets annoying. Okay, so jumping over here to content exclusions, what I like to do is I like to exclude all mature audiences. And obviously it depends on your offer, depends on what you're doing, but typically for most offers and all that stuff, you just don't want like the mature type videos for your ad to be displayed on there. It's typically like not the best traffic. And then also I also like to opt out of all 3 of these. So embedding YouTube videos, live streaming videos, and games. Okay, because like if someone's playing a game, they don't really care about your ad. Sorry, they just don't. If they're watching a live stream video, they're interested in what's going on live. They're not interested in your ad. Okay, and then embedded YouTube videos, you don't know where those are going to be embedded. Okay, so I like to go through and uncheck those or check all those. And then typically, this obviously is depending on your audience. I also like to go through and check all of these sensitive content, right? So this, you can see all these are beta, sexually suggestive, profanity, sensational and shocking, like all that stuff, social issues. Like you're catching people a lot of times in all that stuff in pretty like emotional situations, so they're not really in the right mindset to go and react and respond to your ad, right? So like I just like to leave it out of there. There's a lot of traffic on Google. You don't need to go through and have every single person seeing your stuff. You want to catch them at the right time. Okay, all right, so ad schedule. All right, this is kind of self-explanatory, but you can say, hey, I want it to run all day every single day. And that's great, because you're able to see, okay, is it going to work best on the weekends, on the like on midweek, or what days are going to actually work best? So I typically like to start out by just saying all days every single day. However, for me, I like to run live ads for live trainings. Okay, so I do my live trainings every Thursday. So what that means is like if I'm running an ad on Thursday, right after the live training, they gotta wait till the next Thursday. It's like it's almost like too far out in advance. So usually like I don't run my ads on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I usually start them like on Sunday. And so I could say like, hey, I want to run them Monday from, let's say, just 12:15 a.m. to 11:45 p.m. and we hit add. Okay, and then we just go through and we do this for Tuesday, then Wednesday, then Thursday, then like all the days that I want to run them and specific to the time zones. Okay, and honestly, like it doesn't, I haven't seen a huge difference if you're like running them in the middle of the day or the middle of the night or whatever. I've seen signups on both, so it kind of just depends on, it's more in your targeting, okay, which we'll get to here in a second, right? So those are kind of like the initial, that's that first top half. Now what we're gonna do is create our ad group. Okay, so this gets into more of the targeting of like who we want to specifically target. Okay, so our ad group name, we're gonna say test demo, and then the maximum CPV bid. What does that mean? So it means the maximum cost per view bids, like how much you're willing to pay for someone to view your video. So like you can see right here, maximum CPU cost per view bid is the highest amount you're willing to pay for someone to view your video ad. So Google AdWords is all a bidding system, right? So like if you go through and you only have so many like people watching each video, and let's say you've got this basketball shoes video and somebody's willing to pay 20 cents every single time somebody watches that video, okay, versus another person might be willing to pay 30 cents every single time someone watches that video. So based on this person's daily budget right here, the person that is willing to pay 30 cents, they're gonna be in first place and they're gonna take priority to all the people viewing the video before the 20 cents person, okay? But then once that person has spent their $20 a day budget, then this person's now gonna take priority. So this affinity, okay, that means groups of people based on their long-term interests. So you can click on this and you can go through. What you have to do is you've got to create an affinity audience first. I wouldn't really start here. I've tested a little bit, but I haven't really gotten to this a lot. So I would just like leave that to the side if you're just getting started. This is pretty general. I would stay away from this in my personal opinion, and I'll let you guys know. So actually, I'll just share with you right now. I would start out, if you guys are just getting started out, I would start out with the audiences and remarketing people who've already watched your videos, your customer list, people who visit your website. That's going to be your warmest, best bet. You're going to get your best results right out of the gate. Okay, then from there, I would probably go through and maybe target some keywords, and then even the next one is placement. So this topics, you can see right here, people that are interested in like games or health or hobbies or whatever. You just got all these different options. And then and remember guys, if you choose topics, you're not going to use either one of these other ones. You're just going to pick one or the other.
So if this is an example of your ad and you have your title as your dynamic text, if a user searches for navy blue shoes, then it would replace this with their search query, making this ad exactly what they are searching for. And it also bolds that keyword, so it makes your ad more relevant to the user, and it also makes it stand out. So testing dynamic keyword insertion within ads and testing it against ads that don't have it is a great way to determine if this feature works well for your campaigns. The second feature that we recommend testing are mobile ads. Mobile searches are on the rise, and a recent Mobile Insights study found that 49% of respondents said that they've made a purchase from their mobile phone in the last 6 months, and 32% said they actually search more from their mobile phone than they search from their computer. So this is a really important trend that you want to be a part of. AdWords makes advertising on mobile phones really easy. All you have to do is go to the settings tab and opt to show your ads to users on mobile devices with full browsers. You can be as general as all mobile phones, or you can be as specific to a certain brand of phone or a certain carrier. So testing different mobile ad groups and keywords and ad copy that are really targeted to mobile users is a really great way to be a part of the mobile marketing trend. The third feature that we always recommend testing within your AdWords account is the feature to add negative keywords. It's very simple to add negative keywords. You just put a minus sign on whatever keyword that you're adding to your keyword list. And what this does is it prevents your ad from being shown whenever a user includes that keyword in their search query. This is a great way to cut down on unwanted traffic that doesn't correspond to really what you're offering, and it can stretch your budget further. So always adding these keywords, you can add them at the ad group level or the campaign or an account level, is a really great way to optimize your campaigns. The best way to find what negative keywords you should add is to go through your search query report. What this does is it shows all the keywords that triggered your ad, and you'll likely be really surprised at what keywords you do find there, and then you'll be able to add them as negative keywords. The fourth feature that we recommend testing is the use of location extensions in your ad. What these do is they show your address and your phone number on your ad, as well as a link to directions to your business. So users can see that you're located in their area and find out how to get to your business. Studies have shown that 57% of people start their purchase process online but intend to follow up and actually make the purchase offline. So when a user sees that your business is in their area and that you're located close to them, it can increase your click-through rate and also increase foot traffic into your store.